Hey Sue, how you doing? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Okay. A couple of things while I'm waiting for everybody to get here. First of all, I want you guys to go to university.com. Okay? And what that is a new website that I'm building. I'm going to try to pull it up for myself so I can talk with you about it. Okay. And you will see there's like a 4 question survey. If you would answer that, that would mean a lot to me. Okay, so take a minute to do that if you can. All right, that's universabee.com, universibee.com. I'll put that in the chat. Hey Angela, hey Jillian, how are you ladies? Okay, I'm gonna put this in the chat. The link for you. Okay, now I'm just gonna start talking. I'm gonna answer your questions and yada yada yada. If you have things you want to talk about in the meantime, hit me up. Okay. Hey Karen, hey Emma, hey Joanne, hey Angie, hey Angela. All right. Sue Bruce says, lately someone posted in the span group about a spiritual element being connected to a narc. And we were discussing rituals to break that quarter bond. You can comment. Can you comment on this? Okay. Hey Chanel or Chantel, Hark is creative. Jillian. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to wait a minute. I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to answer these questions one at a time, y'all. All right. So, can I comment on this? Sue, do I think there's a spiritual element connected to a narc? I've heard people say that there are demons connected and stuff like that. I'm not going to lie to you. I have wondered if they're just shells of people that are sent here to put obstacles in our course. But on a logical level, I would tell you that I don't believe that it is directly related to evil or anything like that. I believe that this is it's a scientifically provable situation. You can literally decide, okay, so this particular person had this happen. You can find all the things that led up to them becoming a narcissist in their life if you take the time to do that. Um, I think that parents have a lot of control over this more than they realize, and I do think there is a way to break the cord. And when you're talking about a spiritual connection, as far as in between the narcissist and his victim or her victim, what I suggest to people a lot of the times, and this is very therapeutic for me, and it's always worked for people who really throw themselves into it, is if you write a letter to that person and say all the things you want to say the things that all the bad words and all the things that are true that you're just too scared to say in real life, anything you want to say to that person, all the things you need to say. And I find, and the first time this happened to me, there was a big story behind it. I had some kind of whisper in my ear. I was very angry. I had gone through this situation with a horrible person, and I had gotten out of the situation. I had my own apartment. I was happy. Life was good. And I couldn't figure out why I was still mad all the time. So I had this. I kept thinking about what this person had done to me, couldn't stop. And so I had like literally almost an audible whisper in my ear that said, hey, find yourself, you have to forgive him, is what it basically said. You have to forgive him. So I was inspired to write that letter. I wrote the letter. When I wrote it the first time, I had every intention of sending it. And after I wrote the first draft, I went back and wrote a second draft that was a little more tame because, the first one I went kind of crazy. And then, not literally, and then I realized after I had written it, I didn't need to send it. I wasn't really for him, it was for me. So then I burned it, and I felt like that was ritualistic in a way, and I've done it that way in previous or future iterations from that moment and current, so it works. I hope that helps. All right. Hello, Joanne. Hello, Emma. Hello, Karen. Again, I'm going to go down this whole list here again. Hello, Angie L. Hello, Chantel. Hello, Harkus Creative. Hello, Jillian. Jillian says she hasn't gotten back an email about the university. Okay, Jillian, I'm going to, that's coming. Stay tuned. Sorry about the delay. The university is officially opening on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Yeah, there's a reason. And I have a 4 question survey on the front page of the University right now. If you want to go check that out, I'd appreciate any ideas and help you may have there. Okay. Joanne, P.S. To trust men very hard. Love and buy. Okie dokie. I think I missed something there, Joanne. All right. Hey, Susan. Hey, LJ. LJ says, is it common to have nightmares about a narcissist about 4 or 5 times a week? LJ, I do not think that is common. I think that if you're struggling that much with it, you may be seriously in the throes of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, I would suggest that you talk with the doctor. In the meantime, until you can do that, I would suggest that you develop a new bedtime ritual for yourself in which you spend at least an hour taking the time to get ready and leisurely doing the things you want to do. Wash your face, put on some good moisturizer, you know, take time to think of 10 things you're grateful for and 3 things you love about yourself, considering the level of nightmares that you're having. I would suggest that you do that in the morning when you wake up, at night before you go to bed, and if you have time, one more time during the day. And I suggest that as you're going to bed, you take the time to write them down, and I want you to think about them as you're falling asleep. That could help you in the meantime, okay? But I do suggest that you talk to your doctor just to be safe. They may be able to give you something to get you over the hump. They did for me when I was going through the hardest part of my recovery. So, if that helps. Limitless Life. Hello, Limitless Life. She says, hello, you fan bloody tastic woman. Hey. Sometimes it is not what your topic of video is that matters to me. It's your incredible consistency daily and just hearing your beautiful accent. Love to you. Ah, thank you so much. And thanks for saying my accent's beautiful. I think it's kind of weird sometimes. All right. Hello, Nicola. How are you? And Decibella says hello from the Netherlands. Please, could you help me? I quit contact with my narcissist mother, and how to explain this to this is hard, to my 9-year-old daughter who's really fond of her Nana. Okay. So, Decibella, my question is, does your daughter does your mother do anything to your daughter or around your daughter that's not acceptable to you? Is she manipulating your daughter's head? Is she talking bad about you to your daughter? Kind of what's happening with that. And if she's not talking bad about you to your daughter and she's not doing anything wrong, I would go low contact with your mother and still allow her to see your daughter. However, if your mother is undermining your parenting, if she is talking bad about you to your daughter, any of that stuff, then I suggest that you explain to her that Nana has, Nana and Mommy are having some issues right now. We're just going to take a little bit of time away from Nana and see if we can do better without her. And if you need to explain to her that Nana has been toxic to you and that, Nana wasn't kind to you, et cetera, then you can do that. But you don't need to go into too much detail. She's 9 years old. She needs to know as much as she needs to know. And then you just need to do your very best to be there for her and provide the things in her life that Nana previously provided. So if Nana was like, let's go to the movies every Saturday, maybe you need to take her to the movies every Saturday. You feel me? Something to think about. All right. Hello, Carrie. Welcome. I'm glad to see you for your first time here. Thank you. Thank you. Decibella says, by the way, you look gorgeous. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sue Bruce, age has been mentioned. Sage. Oh, Sue, yeah. I totally, I have cleansed my own home with sage in the past in order to get negative energy out, and I could see it also working in that respect. It just really depends on your particular belief. Personally, I think that you can even do this with your mind by just closing your eyes and imagining like a white light coming from the center of right about here, and just kind of imagining it expanding outside of your body. It's warm and it's full of light, and just imagining it flowing all out around you and through your home and out around the house, and then kind of forming a protective bubble around the house. I know it seems weird, but that kind of a visualization for me has a similar effect, if that's useful. Okay. Jamie Saras Morton says, or is it Saras? I don't know. Says, I think my mother-in-law is a narcissist, but my husband seems so balanced and level-headed, and I'm wondering why. Well, because he's an empath, probably. Usually, a narcissist has either another narcissist child or they have an empath, or both. They may have more than one child. And depending on the family order and stuff like that, and the way that each child is treated, you may have a scapegoat child, a golden child, a forgotten child, that kind of stuff, right? So, um, in that case, your husband may be balanced and level headed because he is not a narcissist. I would ask you more questions about your husband if we were in a coaching session and help you figure that out. Okay, Jeff Prey says, "Hi Angie." Hey Jeff. Okay, and then Karen B. Hey Karen, how you doing? Why do I always feel so guilty? Why do I feel so guilty when I try to go no contact? I feel so bad, especially when I picked up and got his hopes up. But he always lets me down in days, sometimes even hours. Honey, you feel bad because you're a sweet person with a kind soul, and because you're not realizing and remembering, or you're not remembering, that your narcissist is the type who will do just that, just like they all do. I mean, when they go through the hoovering, which is what has been done here, and when you picked up and got his hopes up, they tell you all the things that they think you want to hear so they can get you back in their circle. But once they think they have you, like you say, he always lets you down in days. So the best thing you can do is to stay focused on what it was that worked for you. Going no contact, stay focused on making yourself happy, on following your passion, finding things that you care about, different people, healthy people. They say that we're the sum total of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So is that guy somebody you want to be like? I don't know. Anyway, bottom line is, the reason you feel bad is because you're a kind-hearted person. But you have to remember, you're not dealing with a regular person. This guy would not pee on you on the side of the road if you were on fire. Okay? So you need to remember that. You need to remember that you deserve better. And if you're the person who I think you are, your scientific research will have already told you there are patterns, and the patterns continually repeat. And you know that. All right? Love you, girl. All right. Christine K. Hey, Christine. Oh, that's exactly what happens to you. Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's only happened to me on some very important things in my life, that almost audible whisper in my ear, and yeah, I think there's some kind of a spiritual something to that. So, I don't know. What do you think, Christine? Nicola Owen says, "Can you explain, once they are with a new target, do they fully leave you alone? Is he watching my Facebook with a fake account, as I found evidence of him still looking at his exes when with him?" Yes. Do they stop contacting you? Do they fully leave you alone? No. Maybe for a short time, but one day they'll get in an argument with the new supplier. One day the new supply will piss them off. And guess what, girl? You're next. They're calling you. I promise. Yeah. He's definitely stalking your Facebook page for sure. Not a doubt. I mean, 99% sure, unless that girl has access to his phone and is controlling him, which you seriously doubt at this point with this person, I'm guessing. So, there you go. Hello, CC Barrington. How are you? Welcome, welcome. I'm always happy to see you. Okay, hey, Harkus Creative says, my girl, is it Harkus or Harkis or I don't know. All right, you're going to have to phonetically type that out for me one of these times. Okay, says, my girlfriend was raised in an abusive home, which she has gotten out of, but now she struggles with self-identity and what finding what makes her happy. How can I help her? Okay, how can you help her? Well, you know what, Harkus Creative? I think one thing you need to remember is that it's a kind of on her. Okay, so she has to want to do it. If you want to help her, one of the things you can do is suggest that she get some coaching, or you can, kind of ask her a series of questions. There are several articles at queenbeing.com about this very thing, how to find your passion. So you can always search that, and I think I've even done videos on it. But basically, what you want to do is help her. Ask her this question. Say, if you woke up tomorrow morning and a miracle had happened, and you didn't need money anymore, and you had everything you needed, you could do whatever you want all day long, what would you do every day? What would be something that got you out of bed and excited if you didn't have to worry about money or anything else? Because if you can ask her that question, she'll figure out exactly what it is that she loves, and you can take it from there. And if she's not sure, tell her to start trying new things. Take a painting class. There are those really fun paint and wine classes. It's like $35 a person, and it's great. And you learn something new, and you create a beautiful piece of art. Try something like that, or find out what she's into. I could give you some better feedback if I knew more about your girl. All right. Okay. Hey, Shauna Sampson, how are you? Hey, Carlita Vega. Good afternoon, my love. Hello, Divine Zion. Happy to see you today. Hey, hey. Jillian says Valentine's Day opening. Yay. Oh, I completed this. Excellent. I'm thrilled, Jillian. Thank you, my love. Thank you. All right. And Susan Cronert Lins. Yeah, I'm bad at names. Linsanagan? Linsangan? Linsingen? I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be bad with names. She says narcissists are people who have been very traumatized. Yes, absolutely. 99% of the time. There's another type of narcissism called acquired situational narcissism, where they may not have been traumatized, but they suddenly became powerful, or they grew into a powerful position, whether it's management, movie star, whatever, depending on their little part of the world, and they become narcissists because of the position of power. But other than that, yes, they absolutely have been very traumatized in their lifetime, and that is why they are who they are, in my opinion. Well, okay, one more exception. Sometimes people have been overindulged as children, and that turns them into narcissists. And that usually happens if, like, there's an only child situation with a parent who maybe always wanted a child and couldn't have one and finally had one or adopted one. Or there might be a situation where, there was a miracle baby and everybody tiptoes around him or her for their whole lives, stuff like that. But in general, yes, I would say 80% of the time a narcissist comes from a broken home or a home where they were mentally or physically abused at the very least. Very least. Sometimes they have horrible stories. True. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, BU Tay Bright. I appreciate you. She said she did this survey. And I love your name, by the way. That's fabulous. Okay. And Sue says, "Wow, rituals seem to be a theme lately." Yes, in fact, I'm about to work on a new series about just that, my love. Angie L says, "If a covert narcissist is raised in a two-parent alcoholic home, and later in life became a non-alcoholic general manager for a bar, which he has been for 30 plus years, does this impede him from overcoming?" I mean, I guess that's possible, yeah, but if he I would imagine that dealing with all the drunks in the bar probably re traumatizes him a little bit each day. Certainly, it could prevent him from overcoming his own issues. Yeah. But in any case, you can almost always, if you choose to change your behavior and your thought patterns, you can. Most narcissists do not, because they do not believe that there is really anything wrong with them. They tend to be the type who know it all. And even if they don't say it out loud, they're secretly thinking it. Right? Yeah. Okay. Estee Lauder says, JT, Jillian has an excellent moisturizer. Seems legit. Hey, Jillian, am I looking dry today? Is that what you're trying to tell me? All right. Okay. BU Bright says, "I love hearing your voice. Hello from Scotland." Well, hello. Thank you so much. I love your name. That's a fabulous name. All right. Susan Bruce says hello to Scotland. She says she's from Canada. She says, "Hey, hey, Scotland. Hello." I can't say it as cute as she can, but okay. Shauna Simpson from Minnesota. Hello, love. Thanks for your advice. My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay. Oh, Limitless Life says, "Hey, CC." I like to call Limitless Life LL sometimes because I think that's fun. I'm AA, we like the double initial thing. Um, and CC kind of fits in there in a way, sort of. Phonetically, anyway. All right. Elizabeth I'm not even going to try. Elizabeth G. It appears to be an Italian name and it looks beautiful. Bella. I can't say it. I wish I had another person here to pronounce these names for me. Um, she says, "He never stops even though I moved." See, I know that's terrible. And you know what? You have to block him on all of your social media accounts. You have to block him on your phone. Unless you're dealing with a child that you're sharing, there's really no other reason that you should have to be in contact with him. And even then, you can just be straight business, no emotion. And you are not required to answer the phone when he calls. You may set up prearranged calls if you need to talk about the kids, but otherwise you should be able to text everything for the most part, okay? And plus, when you text everything, you have a record of what was said in case you ever need it. Something that I learned from helping another client who had a serious issue with a stalker, former narcissist who was making her life a living hell. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, Sue Bruce says, "Triangulation between parent and child grandparent." Yeah, that's the thing. Um, so the situation where you have your children, yeah, the triangulation is terrible. And if you're in a situation where you see that happening in your relationship with your narcissistic parent and your child is being triangulated in that relationship, I personally feel as though you have a certain responsibility to end that, and there are a couple ways you can do it. Number one being no contact, but sometimes that isn't working for people, and so if no contact is not a thing, then you go low contact, and you make sure your child's never alone with that person, and that's all you can do. So just have a few choices, but you certainly don't want your child to be stuck in the middle of all of that, right? All right, all right. Just got a few more minutes here, guys, so I'm going to try to get this done as quickly as I can. I'm going to try to get to everybody's questions. Angela D says, does the ex-narcissist get more violent after discard? Divorce in progress. He will be served this week. He accused me last week of slashing his tires 2 days in a row. I had been no contact for a month. He has a violent. Okay. Here's the thing, Angela. What you want to do is be careful. If he didn't know about the divorce and you're serving it to him in a surprise way, I would not be where he thinks you were going to be that day. I would just do everything in your power to protect yourself. If he has been violent with you, I would get a protection order from the police station. You could get an emergency one probably today if you went down there, and then you could go to court to get it extended. But if you have been physically abused by this person, leave nothing to chance. All right, keep yourself safe. It's important. Hide if you need to until it's over with. Okay, and when I mean hide, go to a friend's house he doesn't know about, or go stay, somewhere that he won't know where you are until you've got all the protection you need in place. Okay, all right. Crystal. Hey, Crystal. She says, hi, do narcissists or psychopaths regret that they pushed away their so-called loved ones when time passes by or they get older? Will they change and compensate what they did when they get old? Okay. Maybe. What I have seen happen is that when somebody goes no contact with a narcissist and it's a family member, I see them playing the victim. They act like the family member, like the victim who has gone no contact with them because of their abuse is the one doing the abusing. And they do a smear campaign and they cause a bunch of trouble. But ultimately, even though it's hard to get over the hump with that one, you can eventually learn to be totally fine with their bullshit because you learn to accept their limitations and you just look at it as though they're limited, as though they are disabled, because they kind of are if you think about it when it comes to human nature and understanding it and caring about it, right? Okay. Okay. And Crystal, if they do compensate and change when they get old, I don't see it happen very often. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, there are occasionally people who really do have a big change of heart and all this stuff, but I don't see that in narcissistic behavior a lot. So, Sue said she likes that one. I'm guessing. Butte Bright. Oh yeah, that's a good one. She says, I imagine I'm breathing in white and blue light, and then my breath out is black because I'm cleansing my soul. That is excellent. I love that one. I'm going to try that. Thanks, Butte Bright. That's beautiful. All right. Karen B. Big hearts, big hearts. Okay. Pac-Man Stein. Awesome name. Says, how bad is too bad for no contact? Wait, how bad is bad enough for no contact with narcissist parents? I think I'm ready for no contact, but I'll always second guess myself, of course. Okay, here you go. If you can honestly look at your life and you can realize that almost every decision you've made up to this point has been made either because of the need to please your parents or directly in violation of it, as in to rebel against your parents, it's time to at least change the way you see the relationship. I would, it's on a case by case basis, and there are different reasons for you to go no contact. But if they try to control your life, if they make you feel like you're not good enough every time you talk to them, if they make you miserable, if they make you stress over every decision that you've got because you don't know how they're going to handle it, and so much so that sometimes you don't even think about how you want to deal with it, you just worry about how to deal with it, how they'll be okay with you dealing with it, even if you're an adult, that's a no contact situation. But again, every situation is different, so something to think about. Okay, Elizabeth says, Angie, this is a narcissist that no one has ever seen it to this extent. He has tried to murder me. Oh my gosh, honey, I'm so sorry. Um, I mean, I'm not going to be able to. You have to go to the police, or you have to be safe. I don't have a better answer for you. If he's tried to murder you, I hope that you already have a protection order in place. I mean, I would move as far from him as you can. I would document every single attempt to harass you, scare you, track you, betray you, hurt, not betray, track you, or in any way affect your life. Document, document, document. I would send copies of everything you have to a close friend or family member, or someone that you trust in case there's an issue. She says he never leaves me alone or stops abusing me no matter what, no matter that I moved a half hour away. Moved over an hour away. Okay. Yeah, that's a very difficult situation, Elizabeth. That's terrible. I don't know the whole situation, but I think the very best thing you can do is to try to get the police involved and, just like I said, continue to document. Something to think about. I would have to hear more about your personal situation to be able to offer better advice. Um, Sue, wow, Southern expression. I'm not sure which expression you mean, but I'm guessing it might have been something I said. I sometimes sound a little Southern, especially to y'all Canadians up there. All right. Um, okay. Cece says, "What do you do when people look down on you for not bouncing back fast enough? To me, this was not just a breakup like they think. They gave me a time limit to get over it. I feel like I'm crazy." Okay. I hear that a lot. And what people don't understand is that how very deeply they get their little claws into your soul, okay? And how much it really devastates you when they're out of your life. What I would say to them is look, I have to heal in my own way. You don't fully understand what I dealt with, and I'll be just fine. Thanks for your concern. You know, um, and as far as it goes, you need to go through the process of being focused on, you know, on recovery. You don't want to stay focused on the part that hurt you. I have some people say to me, I don't want to get over it. Okay, if you don't want to get over it, that's okay. But then just be real with people and say, look, I'm not ready to be over it yet. I'm still dealing with it. You know, people see when they're giving you a time limit to get over it, they're literally putting you back in a box that you just got out of. Okay? Don't allow anyone else to control you. Don't allow your narcissist or anyone else to control you in your life. You are not required to get over it at any point in time. Personally, I like to get over things as quickly as I can because I really dislike the feeling of being unhappy. I really like to be happy. But there are people in the world who enjoy being sad. And if you're one of those people, my friend, okay. If you're not one of those people, then you need to work through the emotions, let them come to you, figure out what they mean, and find out why you keep, what is it that's causing you to feel this way. If you need coaching, let me know, and that's what I do. All right? All right. I really need to be going now, but I'm going to go ahead and answer a few more questions before I go. Okay? Emma Lindstrom says, I have read a lot about how I can help my kids. They are living most of the time with my ex. Oh boy, the narcissist. I have noticed that he has hurt them with gaslighting and manipulation. What can I do to help them? Emma, depending on how old they are, you can just explain to them what he's doing, and logically, if they're able to understand the concepts. Otherwise, I would see if they can't live with you more often, if that's a possibility. Um, I would have to know more specifics about what you're dealing with on that also, to give you better advice. Elizabeth says he sends the flying monkeys to do his dirty work. Well, document them too, Elizabeth. Don't leave anybody out. If somebody's coming to cause trouble for you in your life, make the effort to get the police involved. Write down the name of the person, what they did, how they did it, etc. The best thing you can do is document, 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 and anytime you have anything that's reportable, report it. Eventually, they're going to get tired of it and leave you alone. Okay? Beth Cooper, hey, says, I feel bad because I went no contact with my sister. It's only us two. Well, Beth if that person was abusing you, then you did what you had to do. You can't feel bad about it. If that person was toxic to your life, what you simply did was choose yourself over that person. And that's allowed. If that person can't be a positive in your life, that person doesn't deserve to be part of your life. They should be positive at least more than half of the time for you, if not a little better. All right? Okay. Chanel says, I can't seem to forgive my father who was verbally, sexually, and emotionally abused. I stopped communicating. Okay, so he abused you, I assume you're saying? I stopped communication. He stopped communication with me after my mom died last February. Ooh, due to suicide, and he cut you out of your little brother's life. Oh, that's horrible. I don't know that you need to move forward as far as being in a relationship with your father after he's done that to you. But if you don't forgive him for your own sake, you're going to lose your mind. Now, you don't have to tell him that you forgive him, but you have to forgive him for the sake of your own sanity. As far as your little brother goes, I don't know how old he is, but you want to try to stay closer to him as he gets older. The older he gets, the more mobility he will have, and so on and so forth. If your dad is the one who verbally and sexually and emotionally abused you, you probably need to be trying to get your little brother out of that situation, or have someone else in the family help you look into that and see if your brother's also being abused. Something to think about. All right. Emma says her kids are 10, 9, 6, and 3. Oh, and how does she explain? Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one, Emma. You're gonna be able to explain to your 9 and 10-year old, especially if they're female, a little bit, but you're gonna have to do it in terms that are simple for them. And I don't know. Your 6 and your 3-year-old, you might have a little trouble with. I'm not sure why they're living with their dad, but if there's anything you can do to maybe increase the amount of time they spend at your home, that would be a big start. Hi, Christine Zimmerman. How are you? Okay. I have to go in 1 minute. I'm going to answer one more question, and then I'm going to come back next week and do more. And you can also I'll try to remember to copy paste the chat into my own notes. So if you leave additional questions here for me, I'll make sure to answer them in videos this week. Okay? All right. Tootie says, I poured my heart out to my husband in a letter after he put me out and filed for divorce. I now believe he's a narcissist. I'm so confused. No response to my letter at all. I'm hurting. Help. Okay, Tootie, that's the thing that happens. When you said, that's why I never send my letter. If you send your letter, there one of three things. You'll either get ignored like you were, or you will get love bombed / hoovered. They'll try to suck you back in, or the person will come in and try to abuse you further. Okay? You're not going to get decent closure from your narcissist husband. They don't do closure. They like to keep the door open because sometimes they just want to pop back in whenever they get bored and need a little extra supply. So I think that if I'm you, I'm happy that the response didn't happen, and I'd let it go. I'd block him and be done and just file for divorce or whatever it is that you're doing. He filed for divorce. Yeah, I mean, I know that that's a horrible feeling and it doesn't feel good to have that happen to you. But if you want to look at the silver lining here, you have this opportunity now to kind of restart your life and make it what you want instead of what he wants. So that is a very good thing. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm really sorry I've got to close up. I've got a client call shortly and I've got to get ready for it. But I just wanted to stop in and say hello. Don't forget to go to universabee.com. That's universabee.com and fill out that survey for me. Okay? It's only 4 questions long and it will really help me to provide a better program there to launch. All right? Don't forget the launch date is Valentine's Day because, it's all about self-love. Feel me? All right. I love you all. I will see you soon. I'm so sorry that I have to rush off today, but I will be here. I'll try to come in again on Thursday around the same time if I can. Okay? If not, I'll definitely be here next week on Tuesday. Leave me questions here, or if you're in Span, and leave them in Span. If you're not in Span, just go ahead and join. Go to queenbeing.com/span. Some of our amazing admins will be there. I'm there when I can be. We have this team of admins that you guys are just going to love if you haven't met them yet. If you have met them, you already know they're amazing. So there we go. I'm wrapping up for today, you guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for being my people. Thank you for being survivors. Thank you for being in my life. It means a lot to me every single day. Thank you. I'll see you guys very soon, and thanks for letting me be a part of your life too. See you soon. I'm gonna close up now. Maybe. La 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 la. This is your hold music. Let's see.